All right, and welcome back. JT here, and this is another Thrift Store Finds Monday. And it's been a few weeks since I've done one. I just wasn't going out there to look. Been busy, but this last week I did find a few things, and it's been a lot of fun to get back out there. So let me start off with this. I found a Blu-ray, and this is. This is dedicated to the Four Horsemen. Oh yeah, this is Spinal Tap from 1985. And I thought of Chris, Josh, Gary, Jeff, well, and Aaron. You know, there should be five horsemen, but Four Horsemen sounds better. And me, you know, because we listen to our music, our metal on 11, not 10, right? So this was really cool. This is sealed, and I didn't pay very much for this Blu-ray. So, and, you know, fictitiously, the band of Spinal Tap, you know, the Rob Reiner film, is David St. Hubbins on vocals and guitar. And you have Nigel Tufnell on lead guitar, of course, and Derek Smalls on bass guitar. And, you know, Spinal Tap, they went through 10 drummers. And the first drummer, John Stumpy Pepys, he died in a bizarre gardening accident. I mean, and the authorities said just a case best left unsolved. And the second drummer, that would be the other Stumpy, Eric Joe Childs. He died on his own vomit of unknown origin, and perhaps, but not necessarily his own vomit. So yeah, you get it. Great film. I'm gonna have to watch this again on my other copy. This one's sealed. Fun to have it. All right, and that's from my favorite thrift store, 1984 or 5, from the director Rob Reiner. And here's a band from Cleveland, Ohio, and that would be James Gang. Love these guys. This is from 1971. This is on ABC Records, and you know they're great Ohio band. And the second track here, you know, you have Walk Away, the very first track, so great. And Midnight Man on side 2, the opener, is just fantastic. But Dale Peters, there's a second track here called You Dig, and it's just a jazz number, a little jazz number. And I think Dale Peters must have been behind that. And you have Jim Fox as well as the drummer from the original lineup of James Gang. And James Gang in concert was Joe Walsh's last hurrah with James Gang. So once again, there's the back cover and the inner sleeve. And this is on ABC Records. Here's the side A. All right, James Gang was that was 25 cents, you guys. And that thrift store, I walked in there and a guy had walked out with 30 records. Can you imagine 30 records at 25 cents a piece? He had scored his score about an hour before I walked in. But, you know, that's the way it goes. And then another record, this was all of $1. Movin' with Nancy on her father's label, the chairman of the board, Reprise Records. This was a nice find. I did not have this. And she has a version of Jackson on here. This Town, very cool, Jackson. And her dad and her do a duet on this record. So here's the ever beautiful and attractive Nancy Sinatra. Great record. And this is on the older Showboat Reprise. Really nice find. Now I have about 4 or 5 Nancy Sinatra records. I'm missing Boots. And next up, I have a copy of this, but I found another squeaky clean Roger Miller. Tuco loves Roger Miller, and so do I. I mean, this is the golden hits. Everything is on here. You know, you got King of the Road. Love that song. My dad used to sing it back in the early 60s, mid 60s. And I grew up listening to Roger Miller. I love this music. So this is on Smash. Here's the back album. the back of the jacket rather, and a nice inner sleeve for smash. And I love my vinyl on smash. Let me show you. And this is a mono. Yeah, you know, Sir Douglas Quintet is on smash. Love it. And next up, this I paid $2 for this. This is Joe Jackson. Yes. Beat Crazy from 1980. And I like this album. This is their third record, and it's a bit inconsistent, but Beat Crazy, the track itself, I really like it. I mean, it's ska, it's a little bit punk, it's new wave. Love it. And this is the, and the jacket is just so cool, right? This is the last of the original lineup for this third record, and then the lineup did change. So here's the back cover. And this is on A&M. I won't show the wax on this one, but really happy to have Beat Crazy. And so these are my newest finds. And then here's some older finds that, not that long ago. This I paid $1.50 for, and this is The Breakfast Club, right? We remember this film. And The Breakfast Club. Yeah, what can I say? What can I say is that Simple Minds, Don't You Forget About Me is on here, and Fire and Twilight, Wang Chung. Let me show you. There's the tracks. And cool to have Breakfast Club as a soundtrack. And the wax on this is pretty neat. It's just on A&M. But, you know, Pretty in Pink is a good one, but I like having that as well. And then a while back, I found this 12-inch single of Madonna. Love this one, Borderline and Lucky Star. And, you know, her real name is Madonna Louise Ciccone. And she's from Bay City, Michigan. And I think a lot of you know that. You know, Michigan girl. Made good, right? Kinda. And what's really cool, she had Maverick Records, and I believe she still does. She signed Candlebox, and then she signed Deftones. That was brilliant to sign Deftones from Sacramento. But that's the kind of gal she is in the back cover. And this, you know, I've played this a number of times. I really like early Madonna, Lucky Star, New Mix, and Borderline New Mix. And next up, Mr. Guitar Man himself, Jerry Reed. And I have a copy of this, but this one is even cleaner. Look at this. It's just squeaky clean. And yeah, the Guitar Man, Jerry Reed is from Atlanta, Georgia. And on here, he created a claw style for guitar picking. It's kind of like Travis style, but he invented his own. And, you know, back in the day, him and Roy Clark would do guitar duels that were just off the hook fantastic. So Jerry Reed, and you have Amos Moses, and When You're Hot, You're Hot, and you got Guitar Man and The Claw, U.S. Mail. This is just really great. You know, I did a country rock video. Jerry isn't really country rock, but he's country. And this is on that, you know, I love these Dynaflex, you know, flexible vinyl. They sound good. And here's an interesting one. I found this not too long ago. This was $1.50 at my favorite thrift store. And look at this cover. Marilyn Monroe. And when I was a little kid, the Misfits were filmed here in Reno, Nevada. And my parents took me out to the set of the Misfits. And my sister, Michelle, sat in Marilyn's chair on the set, and I sat in John Huston's. And there's a picture. I have it, and my sister has it. But that's pretty cool. I was so little. I was not quite 4 years old. I vaguely remember going out because they were filming the Wild Horses scene. But anyhow, this isn't really that rare of a record, but I love having it. Just the jacket alone, the cover for Marilyn. And this is that one with Jane Russell and Marilyn. And The label and the wax is pretty interesting. Let me show you. And a very near mint record for $1.50. Now this was a great find. This was a couple years ago, and it's just gorgeous. And this is Keith Jarrett's solo concerts, the whole set. Guys, this was $2 for this. This is just fantastic. Keith Jarrett is from Allentown, Pennsylvania, and he started his career with Art Blakey. Absolutely. Just a phenomenal genius of a pianist. And, well, actually, there is the price right there. $1.99. And on here, this is just so clean. This is my only copy of this. I've seen it before, more beat up. There's Keith. And this is all on ECM. I'll just show you one of these. On the ECM label. Very, very nice to have this. And for my next record, George No-Show Jones and his Golden Hits. And this is just such a nice copy. I paid $1.50 for this one. And very, very nice. And George, you know, with his distinctive vocal style, I mean, perfect country inflections and vocal delivery. You know, he had a hard time living up to his vocal performances. I remember reading about that it would stress him out to be able to do what he did on record and live performance, but he almost always did it. He just had what a wonderful voice. I'm a George Jones fan, and almost everything's on here, all the good ones. White Lightning, The Race is On, She Thinks I Still Care, A Good Year for the Roses. Oh, just so great. Tender Years, When the Grass Grows Over Me, and we know what that means. And this is on a Gusto label. Let me show you. This gentleman is from Orillia, Ontario, Canada. And the greatest songwriter, well, as far as Canadian songwriters go, that would be Gordon Lightfoot. And this is sealed. And I just realized I have every Gordon Lightfoot album, well, the first 12 to 14 anyway, from his very first one, Lightfoot with the exclamation mark, and all of them. And a lot of them that I have are just so clean, and I got all of them at thrift stores. So, yeah, what can you say about it? This has the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, and I just remember when I first heard that song, when it was released. This is from 1976, and I remember it so well when that came on the radio. I mean, I'm not a copyist as far as a musician goes. I didn't do a lot of cover music, but I learned that lick. I love that lick, and it was easy and so melodic. Love the song. And Early Morning Rain is just my favorite Gordon Lightfoot song. And here's the songs on here. And this is sealed, and it is, let me show you, this is a cutout. Really nice to have that. And this was an interesting find, to find a record from the 90s, even though it's a 12-inch single, but this is sealed. And this band is from New York City, jam band, rock, funk, everything. And that's Spin Doctors. Yeah, I found this Spin Doctors. It is sealed. And this has Little Miss Can't Be Wrong. And it has Two Princes and Cleopatra's Cat, two versions of that, and Biscuit Head. There's four tracks on this. Really cool. And I like those songs. I liked them when they came out, and I still like them. Now, these next records are from a secondhand store that I discovered. I met the owner, and so I went on over there, and I did have to pay about $4 a piece for these. But it is a secondhand store. So I'm going to show them here on my Thrift Store Finds Monday, and I got just a near mint, minty fresh Styx Paradise Theater, and I'd never had this, and I wanted more Styx records, and so I got it. This is from 1981, and you know, Styx are, you know, of course they're from Chicago, and the band formed way back in 1972. So cool to have this one. There's the back cover. And this is just everything. You know, I'm a bit of a jacket freak. I like, if you don't know from my videos, I like really, really clean jackets. So here is this, the gatefold. And this, and I know you guys are going to know, this is the one that has the etching. Let me show you. So there's that Styx label. And then let me get this around here. This has the etching. And the wax on this is very, very clean too. There's that etching. Nice to have that one. And this next record is, you know, the first album when this band came out in '77, I really liked a song, I'm a Fool for You Anyway, and that's my favorite song by this band all these years. But this is Foreigner, and this is Head Games. And I bought this for $4 because it was just so clean. And I'm going to keep it though. And I've enjoyed this band more because these songs were just drilled into our heads on the FM radio, or AM for that matter, in the late 70s and 80s. And this record is from 1979, but yes, this is so clean. And, you know, great songwriting, of course. Not a huge Foreigner fan, but I like having this record. And I have another copy, but this one is just a definite upgrade. So there's Foreigner, and this was a lot of fun. Now, this is EWF, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Love this one. And this is clearly an upgrade of the other one that I scored about 5 months ago. So love having this. And here's the boys. And their horn section's amazing. Philip Bailey, everything about Earth, Wind, and Fire. Fantastic. And next up, now, in the 1980s, I listened to this band so much, and I love them, and that's the Talking Heads. This is True Stories, and this is from 1986. I had not had this. I have it on CD, but so great to add this to my Talking Heads collection, and this is from David Byrne's film, and just great songs on this record. And I also scored Naked. That would be my second copy of Naked, and I like that album, the last Talking Heads album. Here are the Heads from New York City. Tina, Jerry Harrison, David, and just an idea. Love for Sale, Wild Wild Life. Let me show you. And then on the back cover is the custom label for the film, for True Stories, again from 1986. Now this is a good one. This is really a good one. This is this gentleman's very last record. He was on tour opening for Jeff Beck before he passed away around 1976 or 1977. And that's the genius, the great Tommy Bolin. And this is Private Eyes. And you know, I mean, he played with, he started, man, I'll tell you, as a 14-year-old kid, we used to listen to that Zephyr album, and I didn't know that that was Tommy Bolin on that record. And then he played with James Gang, and then he played with Deep Purple, and then he had the two solo, what was it, Teaser, and this album, Private Eyes. Look at the jacket on this. It's so clean. And I have this record, but this is a great upgrade. Here's the back cover. And I'll skip showing the wax on this. It's just simply on a red Columbia. All right. And this record I did have to pay $7 for. There's actually the Tommy Bolin. I had to pay $7 for it at that secondhand store, but I'll take it all day in that condition. And then I had to get this one. And the only bummer, let me show you. Here's Live Spirit. This is from about 1978. Jay Ferguson is not on this, but I had heard this before. This is a good album. I love Spirit. Great to add it to my collection. And they had a little sticker right there. Let me show you. and it just discolored this beautiful, beautiful jacket. But you got Randy, California on here, and this is a great performance. And Ed Cassidy, the drummer, but, you know, again, I said Jay is not on here. And let me show you this. This is really interesting because it's on, here we go. Here's the label. Yeah, fantastic to add this. And then I stopped by 2 more records, and it's kind of a secondhand store. It's a coffee house that has records on the side, and I get so many great records there. I was getting 3 for $1 about a year and a half ago. Well, times have changed quickly, right, with record prices. But I found, you know, one of my, David Lindley and this gentleman, Ry Cooder, are 2 of my very, very favorite guitarists. And this is Boomer's story. And, you know, Ry Cooder is LA born. You know, he plays guitar, he plays bass, mandolin, bouzouki, banjo, slide guitar. What can you say? And his slide playing and his mandolin playing are just off the hook incredible. And this is from 1972. Again, this is his 3rd LP. Love this one. Let me show you the songs here. And I'm really only missing Ry's very first record. Let me show you. And I did have to pay $15 for this, but I'll do that all day long to get a near mint Boomer story from Ry Cooder. And my very last record today, this was cool. This was only $10, still in the shrink. Houston, Texas band that went to LA to make it in the big time in 1968. This is their debut. This is Psych, this is Garage, and this is Fever Tree. Right? So cool. And this hype here, let me show you. $3.88. Now this is a record store. As a young teenager, I used to shop at Mirabelli's Music City in the Park Lane Mall in Reno, Nevada. That was a new part of town back then. Reno wasn't very big at all. And this is just cool to have. I spun this entire record. I love it. I streamed it first driving home to listen to it. And it's just so cool. And you know, well, San Francisco Girls is on here. That was the one single, but this whole record is just inventive, psych, fantastic. And their next record was Another Time, Another Place from 1969, and I want that record. So guys, thanks for watching today. I think I'll go ahead and do another Thrift Store Finds Monday next week. I have more records that I scored, and I think this next week, maybe I'll get lucky. So, all right, I'll see you real soon. Cheers.